Good afternoon and welcome to the instructional handover video for this 2023 Burstner Lyseo TD744 Harmony Edition. I'm going to walk you around the outside first, then we'll move on inside. So we're based on the new Fiat cab, got the new alloys, folding mirrors, so manually folding but then electrically operate both bottom and top. Into the cab area we've got the new steering wheel with the multifunctional controls. We've got the electric handbrake. Some that may have come through on the 22-23 might not have the electric, but that's the electric handbrake. This particular one's got heated seats, so that's where the switch is for the heated seats. Not always standard, so be aware of that. The windows have Remy's cab blinds on, both on the side and on the front ones. The front ones just pinch together here and close in the middle and magnetise and just slide back in. We've got the electric window switches, mirror switches and additional storage pockets in the new door card. Behind that we've got the habitation door, so this is the Carado XL door, so large door with an electric step. Above it we've got the awning, so Burstner use the dual awnings. We'll send you a separate video of how to use that awning. The door itself, it's got a locking point from the inside just there. Little holder here is for the home light function if you buy one of those separately or part of the lounge pack. Got a storage compartment there and the new bin housing point just there. In the door itself it still comes with a blind and is also fitted with a full height insect screen. Behind that we've got in the little slim grey compartment a barbecue point. So once your gas is on you just need to turn that and that will flow out. Make sure you are connected to a gas barbecue or cooking facilities or a fire outside there before you turn the isolator, because once you turn that, gas becomes live if gas is on in the vehicle. It's a little lock to open and close and then the key is fully removable. Below that we've got the toilet compartment, so this just needs lifting up to slide out. Now the blade valve inside must be in the closed position to remove it. We've got the little wind off filler point here which you empty it, so you turn that round like so, take the cap off, empty it out. We've got a handle, we've got wheels and we've got a little flush button at the top there, so if you press that little orange circular button in, that will allow the air to escape and it will free flow anything out of that toilet compartment that you've put in. So putting it back in, it's an easy sort of slide in and it should just sit over the little notches there. Like I say, I'll show you how where the blade valve is later in the video once we move on inside. Behind here we've got a mains output, so the blue one is a mains out. You'll need a Euro adapter to just connect to that. The black one is a USB point, sorry not USB point, a 12 volt. And with that you'll need the Adaptit 5 socket system to connect to a normal UK 12 volt system. And then we've got an aerial point just above it here. The aerial points are never connected from factory, so if you do want this doing you will need to speak to your dealer to connect it for allow you to plug in an aerial from a campsite to give you aerial reception inside the vehicle. Behind that further we've got the rear locker door. It's got the housing door retainer just on the side and it clips just in there. Once the power's on we've got a light. It comes with a couple of Alco chocks, plug socket, some mains just here and tie down little hooks along the rear of the vehicle. You'll also find, usually if you've ordered the ambience pack, the carpets, the scatter cushions and fitted sheets. We've got the hose for the external shower point. Again, this is an extra, the external shower point, so if you've not ordered it you may not have this, and they all come supplied with a gas pigtail, so that is generally what is in the vehicle from new. Towards the back of the vehicle, the back rear area, this has been fitted from factory with a bike rack, so you've got a bike rack option just there. You can dealer fit these as well, so that's the bike rack option on the back, and you've got a reversing camera high up just there. Round to the passenger side we've got the opening locker, so undo it with the key, All the locks on the Burstner locker doors work with one singular key. So you will be given 2 keys, but 1 key will open all the lockers around. And then you will have a separate one for the little grey barbecue and shower points supplied to you. In here we've got the carpets for the cab, tyre inflation kit, because they don't come with a spare wheel, fitted sheets, part of the ambience pack, awning rail, handle for winding the awning out, and your toolkit supplied from Fiat just in that black box there. Forward of that, clearly marked, we've got a mains power point into the vehicle. So that's where you will put your mains power into it. Below that, and to the front, we've got a sticker telling us where our wastewater drain is. And that is the pipe just there. On this side. The key for releasing it is just here. And all you do is turn that 1/4 of a turn, and that will drain any wastewater that you've put down your sink or your kitchen tap. Now you'll see that this system is fitted with a gas low system. They don't come with gas as standard. We put the filler point down in the skirt. It's 2 gas bottles, and we put an additional changeover valve on top there for the customer. But that is non-standard. Speak to your dealer and they'll be able to help you and assist you in what options are available. Above here we have your external shower point, another extra, and it's a switch. So there is a little switch that you'll need to remember to turn off, otherwise it will continually run the pump. You've got a hot and cold, so once you've pulled your water through the system and we bleed your boiler, which I'll come to later, you can mix it to make it hot or cold. And the shower point just literally plugs in here, and then you have a release pin that just pushes back to take out the shower hose when you're not using it. Again, the same idea with that, so push it in, turn it, and then that's the key removed. Below that we've got the vent for the boiler, so it is clearly marked with a sticker saying hot, so just be careful that you don't touch it or put anything on it. And in front of that we've got the service locker entrance point. In here you will find your cap for filling up the fresh water, and what you'll need to do is, supplied with the vehicle, is the filler neck. Is sit that hole over there and put your hose pipe onto here, and that will fill up water in there. Now to fill it up you'll need to close this wheel, and there's 2 stages you'll see here. You'll turn it to the first click and it will fill up to 20 litres. Turn it again so it's finger tight clockwise, and it will fill the tank all the way up to the top until it's full, and it will overflow out of there. That's why you must remember to put the little filler neck on it. On emptying it, you just turn the little wheel anti-clockwise and it will run to 1 click, which will drop it to 20, or 2. Keep going until again it's finger tight the opposite way anti-clockwise, and it will drain out. That will drain directly below the vehicle. So if you forget to put it in, then as soon as you put water in here, it will drop out underneath the vehicle. Inside the area just down here, you will see 2 additional little switches. You'll see a little yellow toggle valve. Now the yellow toggle valve down at the bottom here basically is your drain of your water lines. Now in the up position it will drain it, and in the down position such as that, it will allow you to fill up the system. So down will allow you to fill it up, and it doesn't matter if it's pointing one way or the other, and up will empty it. Again, if you start your pump, once you've put water in, your fresh water, it will come out of that pipe there onto the floor underneath to remind you. Forward of that, we've got the little diamond valve here. So this is your frost protection valve, and there's 2 parts to it. The top bit here is your diamond with a little nipple sticking out. You'll need to twist that in. If it's below 4 degrees, the little nipple at the top will go in, and it will enable you then to press the little blue button at the front here of the actual frost protection valve. When you're emptying it, just click it, and the blue button at the bottom down here will just come out. So just to recap, we've got the water drain, the boiler drain, the freshwater fill, the freshwater drain, and your wastewater drain, all located on the passenger side of the vehicle. Okay, this can be stored in that area, and just when you finish filling it up, just put your cap back on there. The red cap is if you ever need to get into that tank to clean it, you've dropped anything in it, you can gain access through there, but make sure that the tank is empty before you do that. Forward of that, into the cab area, you've got the diesel point and the AdBlue, so that can be found just in front of the door. Opening up the door is where you will find the access point to the vehicle battery. That's located under here, and you will also find underneath this seat here the main fuse box with all the fuses located just for you there. So that's what we call the E-box, and that's located under that seat just there. The bonnet release catch is just here. Again, we've got a window switch, we've got a storage area, passenger airbag, and another storage area just above there. Cup holders lower down, just there. Towards the front of the vehicle, above the Burstner badge, you'll find the little lift up lever for the bonnet release. Under here we've got a negative point, and underneath the little black cap down here we've got a little positive point. Just use your key to flick it open, that will give you access to that. We've got the oil filler point, and we've got the screen wash to the left hand side. They're the basics that you would need to know. On closing it, just gently place it closed, and that will allow you to close the bonnet. So that's the outside of the vehicle done. Let's move on inside and we can talk you through the operation side of it. So on walking into the vehicle, you'll find directly above to the left hand side the main control panel. Now we are plugged into mains, so you'll see that it's illuminated there. If we press the button, that will put the power to the vehicle, so basically in essence giving you the 12 volt. Press and hold the button there, it will tell you what power is in our leisure battery. Press and hold that button there, it will tell you what power is in our engine battery. So engine, leisure, front and rear. And the leisure batteries on these can be found underneath the driver's seat. That's where you will find the leisure batteries. They do have provisions for 2 batteries. On Burstners, only come with 1 as standard. The button to the right, if you have any water in, it will display by moving up the same way that the battery does on the right hand side, generally in a blue LED. And then below you've got the wastewater. The one in between it is your pump, so it will turn the pump on and off. Now we'll only turn the pump on if you've got water in there. That's what we will advise you to do. To the left hand side of that, we've got the boiler controls. So press and hold it and that will open up the options. So we've got 4 main options at the top. First one is a motorhome, and if you turn the dial, it will move along. So the first one being the motorhome, press that in and turn it on to the desired temperature. Once it's reached the temperature, that will then turn off. The next option along is the boiler, and make sure you've got water in there. So if you've closed all them valves I mentioned on the outside, to get water in the system, you'll need to turn your pump on. You'll need to go to your tap, and clearly marked on the top of your tap is the direction of the hot. You'll pull it through to that area, you'll lift up the tap, and that will pour out the water through the boiler. So it'll pull it through the boiler from the fresh water tank, and it might spit and spurt initially. Keep it going until you get a steady stream. Once you've got a steady stream of water, turn that off. Yeah? Then that will allow the boiler to be full of water. Once you've done that, come back to this, turn it onto this section here, and turn the dial to either Eco, which is approximately 40 degrees water temperature, hot with approximately 60 degrees, or Boost. And what Boost does is takes all the power away from the heating to get the water up to temperature. Yeah, so whenever you're ready, select which one you want and it will appear on the line above. I'm not going to do it now because we've no water in there, as you've seen. The next option along is the fuel source. So in this instance, EL2 is 2 kilowatt electric, and it tells you above. Turn the dial the other way and it'll be EL1, electric 1 kilowatt. Mix 2 is a mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt electric. Mix 1 is 1 kilowatt electric and gas, and again it's changing above. So each time you turn the dial, the symbols above the line will change. When you're happy with what you've chosen, then press that button. The next one along is your fan speed for the heating. So Eco being slow, high being fast. And once you've run it on high for a few minutes and the system's got up and running, you can then select back into it and select Boost. That will take all the power away from the hot water to get the heating up. The boost function is only available on one of the options, either on the heating around the vehicle or the hot water. Once it's at temperature in the vehicle, that little flame will stop flashing. Until it reaches temperature, it will flash. Yeah? If it keeps timing out, just press the middle button and it'll take you back. The options below are for the timer, the clock, the settings, and you've got a mains power option to tell you that the mains coming into it. But get the first 4 functions available first, then you can go into it. Now, one tip with this, always turn off the unit by pressing and holding it before you unplug the mains cable or turn off your gas. And before you turn on this unit, turn your gas on and your mains. That will just eliminate any issues that you have with that particular system starting up and there being no fuel. So below, particular customers added a TV in the front and in the rear. So that, I think, is a 21.5 inch TV there. You've got the plug sockets here, just behind. And we've got a double USB point. This little cupboard here, it's a magnetised shelf just in there. So the Burstner do magnetic glasses. And we've got the light switches for various inside and outside lights. So there's 2 welcome lights, a long awning strip light, and then your internal lights. Into the front area here, we've got the 2 travelling seat belts, which can be hidden away. We've got the table. So this is the normal bench style table. Yeah, it will lift off there, and as soon as you lift it up, you'll see this little lever that's coming out of the end. That will allow you to remove it. To open it up, there's a little lever here. You just pull down. That will allow the table to spin, and this extension bottom part to slide around. On the floor, we've got storage hatches, so you can lift them up to give you access to the storage. We've got gas isolation valves can be found in this compartment. So at the minute, they're all in the workable position. So always revert back to this if you're unsure. And we've got the cooker, the fridge, and the boiler. Below that, we've got your plugs. Again, they might be in different locations depending on who's cleaned or who's handing over your vehicle. We've got the lights, so the removable lights that come with it as standard. We've got your winding handle. So this is your winding handle for the beds if the bed does fail. Just that is your winding handle that is supplied with it. And we've got the handbooks on the bed, the awning, and the awning feet clips if you want to put the awning onto the side of the vehicle. In the bottom compartment here, you've got your home light. So again, this is whether it's got a lounge pack, and that fits into either the door or it can go into the charging point here at the front. There's also one on this particular model at the rear of the vehicle, which I'll show you. You also get some toilet chemicals and a main booklet with everything in there. So that's all in there. The kitchen itself has an additional chopping board area now. Been there for a year or so. And we've got the XXX Thetford 3-ring gas cooker with oven and grill. So again, opening it up. Igniter, just there. Grill to the right, oven to the left. When you're grilling, just leave the door ajar as you would at home. Please heed the notice about giving plenty of ventilation and the little sticker at the bottom that says do not put the grass down on naked flame or even when it's warm. So just be careful with that. The windows have fly screens and blinds on there. Just press them down and that will do that. To open them up, just turn the key levers and gently out will hold it in place. All the way up to come all the way back down will close it. And they're the same throughout most of the vehicle. Above in the kitchen area, you've got some additional storage areas here. Grill pans in here, and you've got another little packet which has got the towing iron. Above in here, we've got a storage locker. Now sometimes we'll fit microwaves into here, so it can take a microwave without losing that front. Below that, we've got the fridge. To turn the fridge on, you press and hold the button and it will light up. You have a few functions that you can do here. So you can manually select the options that you want. So either gas, mains, auto, or 12 volt. The The 12 volt will only run when the engine is running, so it will not work when the engine is stopped. So just bear that in mind. Gas will only work when you're not hooked up to mains or the engine's not running and your gas is turned on. The mains, obviously, when mains is turned on. And auto will try and select the strongest source. So in this case, I'm hooked up to mains, I've no gas, the engine's not running, it will flick over to mains electric. The dial at the side will allow us to turn the temperature down or up on the cooling of the fridge. To gain access to the fridge, press the little button in and you've got accessibility into here. In the freezer compartment, you can open from either side depending on what you want to do to gain access to the freezer area. When you turn it off, you press and hold the button and you'll see that the light goes off inside and on the outside display. To lock it, you just flick it across and that will lock it in place. Below here, we've got a storage unit. Just make sure that you press the buttons in before traveling. And here is where you will find underneath the oven your main RCD breaker. So it just lifts up. And on there, you've got a test button, which is a little circular button here. So if you ever think you've not got mains into the vehicle, if you're unsure from looking at the panels, press that button. And just as it's done there, it should flick down. Just reset it, and then you'll be right again. If it's not that, and nothing happens, check the site electrics that you plugged into. You've also got a bit of storage at the side of it too. Couple of hooks for your tea towels and belongings there. In the middle, we've got another storage locker area. Lift that up. This is generally where you'll find, if you've got a drop down bed, your ladders are delivered to us from the manufacturer. The drop down bed above there, the only thing that you must remember to do is fold down this side facing seat. Just there. Obviously move any obstructions. With the key in, just press the button and then that will come down to just above the headrests. Your ladders hook onto here. You've got two lights that turn off by just pressing the buttons in the middle of each light. Yeah. You've got safety nets on the front and the back side. They clip into the eyelets at the back and the little silver eyelets either side here. Big, large area. Roof light with a fly screen and blind and opening roof there. Same as this one here. Just pulls across and pulls back. And then to open it, you press the button in and pull it down. Lock it in place, you just lift it up, just like so. To put the bed back up, please make sure you don't do this with anyone on it, but you just press and hold the button. You can leave bedding on. If your pillows are really big, then just be careful because you don't want to put the motor under too much pressure. Just pop them either side at the front here. And inside here is where you'll find the winding point in the middle here for the bed if the motor fails. So that's where it goes on that particular one. Try not to put anything that's loose in there because it can get entangled with the motor and cause you an issue. You've also got storage in these areas under here, and to make sure that they're in the driving position off, you'll hear a firm clicking noise when you close them correctly. Towards the back of the vehicle, we've got some more light switches for the rear area here. This one is part of the winter pack, so this customer's ordered it with a winter pack. That just illuminates to tell you that you've got your wastewater tank on. We've got the key for the bed, and I'll come to the bed in a minute. Wardrobe area here with a little light and a top compartment. Underneath that, we have a storage area. Lifts up. This also doubles up as your step when we're dropping the bed. To push it back in, you just press that little button in and it will slide in and then just lock in place. The rear area is divided off with here, so you just gently press that in and it will open up and divide off that area from the front compartment. Just like so. So just be gentle with that, don't force it, and just hook it back in place, just like so. Into the bathroom area, I mentioned at the beginning of the video about the blade valve and how that operates. This is the valve to open and close the blade valve, and that's the blade that you see in the toilet. So when I push it towards me, it will open towards the back of the vehicle. Push it towards the front, it will close. It's got to be in the closed position to allow you to remove the toilet cassette. Behind it we've got a blue button, which is the flush button. This will only work when your pump's on. And we've got an indicator to the left of that that tells us when the toilet's getting full. Light switches and plug sockets can be found underneath the compartment. And again, when we're bleeding the water, you want to bleed the water through on the tap in the bathroom area, which is clearly marked on the end, and on the shower, which is clearly marked when you lift it up just on the body of the tap itself. You've got a towel hanging rail there, a little turnbuckle to hold that in place, so make sure that that's held in place before you're travelling on. And then in here we've got some storage in that area. To ventilate it when you're showering, just pull that down and press them up, either at the front or at the back, and that will give you ventilation in the bathroom area. We've got a couple of towel or bathrobe hooks just up there as well. Into the rear area, we've got a rear TV fitted with the sockets. Again, depends on what spec your dealer's ordered it through. And then we've got a main socket there. Charging point for your home light just there. And then we've got the curtains that pull down, as well as the fly screens and blinds, which are fitted to the vehicle as standard. Yeah, so you can put it down or change them around as you wish. In here we've got storage areas and another point for charging your home light. So that'll charge it and that'll keep it safe. But put them on those before you're travelling away. In the middle area here, we've got locker areas for your belongings. You'll see throughout the vehicle, you'll have the vents, they have flaps on them. So they're dotted around in several different locations throughout the vehicle. So you can change where you want the air to go around the vehicle. Underneath this L shape, you will find the table for the rear. To loosen the table, there's a little lever here, which you just pull down. And that will pop the table up. So you can put your drinks, your nibbles, your belongings on there. But make sure you do push it down and push it back away before travelling on. Lots of lockers around the rear. So just pinched the actual handles in the middle to open them up. And under here, this is where you will find your bed motor again. Again, it runs on a strap system, so just be careful of anything that is loose that can get caught up. Otherwise, the bed won't function. You may blow a fuse. Just a bit of common sense, really. The lounge area should come with 2 armrest covers. Just like so. Now you'll need to remove all these when you're doing the actual dropping the bed down. So pop them nice and neat away. And that allows the bed to come down all the way. You'll need to remove the little corner cushion just here. So all you do with that is just lift it up. It just sits and rests on the wooden panel. Pop that out of the way. And then on dropping the bed, you'll want to put the step out. Turn the key, press the button, and the bed will drop. Make sure if you've got any lights that you don't need to remove them, but you can do, but you just turn them round out of the way. And then the bed will go down nice and neat. And we'll stop at its lowest point. So just like so. The cushions go down with it. Those that have TVs, you'll still be able to see the TVs. And then the lights again will just press to turn on, press to turn off. You've got another light, roof light above it. Same way, press the button in to open it. Fly screen and blind fitted to it. When you've finished doing it, press your finger and keep your finger on it. And it will go back up. One thing we would advise is through the winter periods, or if you're not using it for any length of time, just drop the beds down. Just let the air circulate around the vehicle, both on the front and the back. And that will just stop anything building up with any mould or anything like that if the bed is up there and it's touching. So just drop it down 6-8 inches, it doesn't have to be all the way down, and it will just let the air circulate. For those that are interested, you'll see there's some little cuts in the heater pipes. They are supposed to be there. It's to circulate the air around the whole van area. Yeah. And then we simply just put the cushions back to how it was. All in all, it should take you a couple of minutes to do that, and that gives you back your seating area. The front cab area, we have the height adjustable seats. They adjust just on the here. We've got the backrest turns, we've got the armrests. To move the seat backwards and forwards, you use the bar underneath the seat there. On this particular model, it's an automatic, so we've got the 9-speed ZF gearbox. We've got the new digital display. We've got the Traction Plus, hill descent, lock button, and the reversing camera will come up as a full screen now on that. The mirror comes as standard. We've got the opening roof light. So with this one, press the buttons. There's buttons on each of these top ones. Just press them and open them up. You've got a fly screen and a blind on them. Never travel with those open, and it's definitely not advised. On leaving the vehicle, you'll then want to turn the power off. You'll still find that there's a couple of welcome lights on, so just make sure you turn off the switches below. Pop in the step. You need to put the step in before you drive off as well. There isn't a retractable one on here, but if you do forget and start up the engine, the step warning system will tell you that the step is still out. But that concludes the instructional video for the award-winning Burstner Lyseo TD744 Harmony Edition. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like it, and leave some feedback and comments. Most importantly, we hope you find the video useful and you enjoy your new motorhome. Thank you.